I've wanted to gush about Megami Tensei for a while. I mean, it is my favorite series. And if you know me for a while, you know I never stop trying to make people play these games. And if you don't know me, hi, I'm Lumni_gaming, and you can shorten that however you want. But before I start gushing, what is Megami Tensei? Megami Tensei, otherwise known as MegaTen, is the umbrella term for all games that fall under the mainline series of Shin Megami Tensei or the more mainstream Persona series. That includes the very origin of Tokyo, Persona 5. Of course, the mainline series, Shin Megami Tensei and Persona, there are also countless spin-offs such as Digital Devil Saga, Devil Survivor, Devil Summoner, and the newest upcoming one, Soul Hackers 2, which in itself is a spin-off of Devil Summoner, all of which fall under the Shin Megami Tensei umbrella. So yeah, it's a big series. Shin Megami Tensei and most spin-offs are monster collection of games. If the monsters were literally demons, gods, and historical legends. Persona is a part visual novel, part dungeon crawler, and full banger soundtrack collection. So then, apart from the same studio and the incredible music, what ties these games together? Well, the monsters. In Persona, the personas themselves, which decide your skills and stats, are the same as the SMT demons. They also share many core systems such as fusion and elemental affinities, but I'll touch on those later. And of course, other than like 3 games, all of them are turn-based role-playing games. Oh, there's also fighting game spin-offs and rhythm dancing game spin-offs, so let's ignore them for now. Oh no, the horror, turn-based combat. How boring, how lame, how uncool, and totally not spectacular. You had me sold on these games and I don't want to play them anymore. Is what you would say if you turn off the video now. So keep watching and I'll explain how turn-based combat is MegaTen's defining and greatest feature, and how it turns what's normally a stereotypically boring gameplay loop with one of the most engaging, enjoyable, and skill-based combat systems in all of gaming. So yeah, don't think I love these games in spite of the turn-based gameplay. Remember, it's turn-based gameplay. Now then, what makes me love them so much apart from Jack Frost? There's too many things to list off, but basically the entire thing is what's so special. Anyway, why don't I begin with what I mentioned earlier, the combat SMT's defining feature. 2 words, press, turns. Turn-based perfection. The system is simple. One press turn per party member. Hit a crit or weakness, save half a turn. Nullify or miss, lose 2 turns. Repel or absorb, lose all your turns. Oh, and you can pass turns between demons, which again uses half a turn. Useful in the case when you only have one damage dealer or one healer, but need them to go multiple times. Simple, right? It's in that simplicity that I find it so perfect. It perfectly incentivizes not rushing, not spamming, and not getting lazy. Remember, these rules don't just apply to you. Enemies get press turns too. One slip up can often mean death. It creates a kill or be killed atmosphere. You have to be deliberate and thoughtful in your attacks, unlike contemporaries like Final Fantasy and Pokemon, where you only need to mash A and change once every few battles. There are so many strategies that are possible when you have this level of fluidity and flexibility in the actions you can take. Need a turn just for healing, or maybe all out attacking. Or what if you just want buff and debuff and deal a final blow at the end? So many possibilities, so many ways to play, and many possible viable strategies. You can viably run mage or physical, heal or DPS, or just run a balanced jack of all trades build. The thing is, people often complain about turn-based combat being restrictive or boring. While wrong, I feel like if they play SMT, they might change perspective. Even in the Persona spin-offs that don't follow the same system, it is a child of the press turn system. Rather than getting half a turn by hitting a weakness, you get an extra turn per character. It also has knockdowns, where if you knock down the entire enemy horde, you get the iconic all-out attack, which deals massive damage. Once again, you can also get knocked, and once again, it incentivizes not playing clumsy. I can't count the number of times I've chosen the wrong option for Persona 3 and died for it. To be fair, I hadn't played in a month and I've got to control the selection skill wheel. Even the original SMT games had great combat. 6 vs 6, position based attacks, some moves hit only the front, some only the back, some could only be used from the front, and some both. It really allowed you to play and craft a great team composition, one where you could keep the glass cannons at the back, tank up front, or however you want to play. You hear that? Craft a great team composition. Because what good is a good combat system without a good way to use it? Megami Tensei is about demons. Demons are the characters, the enemies, the allies, and of course the party members. Monster collection game, right? So of course hundreds of demons, hundreds of party compositions. Party creation SMT is great, again customizability, flexibility, adaptability, and expression. But the crux of the system is demon fusion. This game, unlike Pokemon, does not expect you to go with the same demon until the end of the game. XP curves go up steeply and it takes a lot to push a demon beyond about 10 levels that they started. Early games didn't even have demon leveling. Fusion was the only way to carry a skill forwards to a stronger demon. Fusion has hundreds of combinations, thousands of possibilities. If you need to get the perfect demon, or just do some garbage collection, you can. Anything you want to make, you can. You can get ice demons with fire, or angels with curse moves, the perfect healer, the perfect elemental coverage. Team crafting is so complex, so expressive, and so deep and well thought out. Special fusions like the 4 Heavenly Beast, Fate's Golden Dragon, or all the jacks to play King or Black Frost depending on the game. You can make practically anything, the only limit is your player level. How do you get demons to fuse though? Once again, demons are the characters. You talk to characters in games, right? Yep, you collect demons by negotiating. Money, items, HP, or just plain old sweet talking. Every demon has its own personality, every demon can be placed differently. Yet another layer of depth. There's a lot, so yeah, I think I'll move on. Gameplay is perfect. Depth, expressiveness, flexibility, skill, depth, and non-stop action. People always say turn-based games don't keep them on their toes, right? Play Megami Tensei. Okay, story. SMT and Persona vary wildly here though. Apocalypse recreate the world as you see fit, that's SMT. Meanwhile, humanity fighting its own desires and also living a normal school life for Persona, a more conventional story. Am I rambling? I think I am. Let's finish this fast. SMT challenges worldviews, philosophies, and principles while keeping you in the most oppressive post-apocalyptic atmosphere where skill or be killed, which the press turn system serves by making everything extremely high risk and always make sure you don't get lazy. This couples with the difficulty of the game as well as its sheer unforgivingness. Did I mention that game journalist Nobi respects call it the Dark Souls of JRPGs? Persona is thought-provoking, inspiring, and the characters are great. They're so great. And then they get ripped away from you in a year of in-game time because that's how the game is structured. Hope you're ready for some of the deepest emotional pain you've ever felt. The individual character arcs, the role you play as a catalyst in their lives, and the depth and breadth writing topics they cover gives you a breathing living world with so many incredible characters. And it always culminates in this epic final battle where your entire party is down and you have this amazing awakening and cast a final ultimate move to literally kill some of the other god.
Pillage him! Satanael! Be gone.
Preposterous! You dare wrong the people's wishes!
And then the game ends, so yeah, if it doesn't resonate with you on some level, I'll be surprised. Great games, even if the writing's a little flawed at times. Although you are technically a sort of chosen one, and if you're not a fan of that trope, you won't like it. In my personal interpretation though, you earn the title of being chosen by the main character's strong will, so it's not a full violation. But now I'm 1500 words in, so where am I going with this? Every experience with every game is different, in a good way. COD and Halo and even Assassin's Creed all guide you along a path, open world or not. They all have expectations, they have a very set in stone way. Megami Tensei has split endings, yes, a common feature of JRPGs. But it also has so many ways to get to each ending. Different demons, different builds, different strategies, different parties, and in Persona special case, different character side stories you can experience, the game's social link confidant system. There's so much more I could talk about. The stylish UI, God, it looks so good, especially Persona 5. The beautiful demon designs, I die for Jack Frost. The underlying narrative of how humanity is the ultimate force even in a world of gods, demons, and horrors beyond our comprehension. But let's talk music. Actually, I won't. I'll let it speak for itself. Okay, is that enough? But an individual song doesn't really tell this whole story. The extensive use of leitmotifs, the consistent musical style, and genius of each and every composer in hitting exactly the right notes to make you feel exactly the right way. No series has music as consistently popping as Megami Tensei. Even on the NES, for God's sake. You know the best part? Every game does something different. SMT3 is more strategic on your team comps. SMT5 is more strategic on your resource management. Persona 4 is upbeat and happy, while Persona 3 feels like an SMT game in its atmosphere. Every game gives you something different to latch on. While my favorites are Persona 4 and SMT5, every other game I've played in the series is incredible in its own right. Be it gambling on the last state of the hardest boss in the game, or casting that final move in the ultimate battle, or just the dilemma of choosing a way for the world to be created that looms overhead the entire game. Megami Tensei never runs out of heart-wrenching, beautiful, magical, and memorable moments. Persona 4 got me through the pandemic. SMT5 was the first game I ever completed on my Switch. Sure, this may be causing bias, but if they weren't the phenomenal games they were, would they have brought me through those times? I digress. What makes it the peak of RPGs in particular? An RPG or role-playing game is a story-focused game where you take on, well, the role of a character in a world. Now you might say that turn-based combat isn't immersive or that visual novel-style cutscenes are jarring and unrealistic. But let me ask you this. When do you feel like the character in the game? When you think the same way they do, care for the same things they do, and you're still allowed to project your personality onto the character. Megami Tensei does this just right. Its atmosphere makes you think the same way as characters, always on edge or fighting for survival. You care for the Persona party members because they're like your friends in the same way the main character does. And at the same time, there's more than enough choice for you to express yourself, hang out with characters you want to, and make the world as you see fit. The combat keeps you engaged, the music always sets the tone, and the art is impeccable. No other game has immersed me as much as I was when they did kidnapping in Persona 4, where I genuinely was enraged by the villain's actions. Or when I had to fight the god of destruction Shiva, and I felt that desperation, that climactic aura, and that sheer power emanating from that 3D model on my screen. Or even just killing a god of lying by overwhelming them with the power of truth. It sounds stupid, yeah, but it feels so damn good when the music swells as you carry the power of all of humanity on your back and it's. Wait, I'm getting carried away. Anyway, despite all the shortcomings, despite the constant high blood pressure, and despite the sometimes disgusting characters, Megami Tensei has everything and it's all done damn good. So go, play. Did I just write 2000 words on a game series? Yeah, but that game series changed my life. Subscribe if you want extremely sporadic videos and please like and share. If not, he's out to hold you down.